Valley's Making Rounds Live, broadcasting and streaming live from the WIDU Community Room.
The WIDU Radio Network, WAGR in Lumberton, WYDU in Red Springs, and WEWO in Laurinburg.
Making Rounds Live on 99.7 FM, 1600 AM.
We air every second and fourth Tuesday of the month.
Making Rounds Live.
The purpose of this show is to bring you information on health and wellness.
Here's the host of Making Rounds Live, Omega Jones.
And thank you so much, Ray. Happy New Year and welcome to Cape Fear Valley Health's Making Rounds Live. I'm your host, Omega Jones. Today, we're starting off a new year. Many of you have goals of getting and staying healthy, but it's cold and flu season, so you may not want to be out and about. Well, don't worry about it, because during the first segment of the broadcast, we'll discuss some ways to help you get more exercise and remain active, and these can be done at home. Also, during the second half of the broadcast, we're going to talk about telehealth. So basically today we're talking about health, but we're also talking about staying home at the same time. Now, before we do this, I do need to let you know that Cape Fear Valley Health is updated its mask and visitation policy. You can find this information on capefearvalley.com. It's on their website. And right now, masks are currently required for all patients and visitors in the emergency department waiting rooms, as well as the waiting rooms of express care locations. Now, visitors are also asked to wear a mask if the patient they are visiting is experiencing respiratory illnesses. Now, if you want a complete breakdown, because they break down everything, the emergency rooms, so forth and so on, you can find this article, as I said earlier, on Cape Fear Valley's website at capefearvalley.com. Now, family, we're already 9 days into 2024. Many people are determined on getting fit and staying healthy this year. Well, to help you achieve these goals are fitness experts from Cape Fear Valley Health's Healthplex. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the broadcast Miss Eileen Barber. She is the Health Services Coordinator for Healthplex. We also have with us today Mr. Mendez Foy. He is the fitness and aerobic lead instructor for the facility. And we have with us today exercise physiologist, Sophia Huck. I knew I was going to mess that up. Sophia Huck and Miss Morgan Jones. Now, in case you did not know, let me go ahead and drop this little tidbit of information in for you. Miss Sophia and Miss Morgan, they are on the cover and in the upcoming edition of City View magazine. And it comes out tomorrow, so you learned it here first. So we want to thank all of you for being part of the broadcast today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules today.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Eileen, we're going to start with you. A lot of people set resolutions to get fit during the new year. Why is getting fit and staying healthy such a popular resolution?
It's popular because it's something we can all relate to. All people have something they can improve upon in their health. And just looking at the new year, you're optimistic about making changes and putting healthy habits in place that are going to stick throughout the year so you can lose weight, firm up, improve your heart, just get better overall for the year.
Working at Healthplex, do you see the numbers start to slow down or drop as the year progresses?
We have peaks and valleys throughout the year. So at the beginning, we have a lot of people with these resolutions, and not so much that they all drop their resolutions, but they kind of find their place, and maybe instead of saying they're going to work out 7 days a week, it becomes 3, 4, 5, which is still great. So it may change a little bit, but overall, we'll see consistency throughout the year.
Mr. Foy, why do people often abandon their resolutions even after they have an out-of-the-box moment in the beginning?
Based off my experience, I believe it's life circumstances. So I think that if something happens in our life that is like you have to take care of somebody gets sick, or a child has, soccer games or something, that we tend to put the new habit on the back burner and, drop the fitness thing, and then, just deal with the life circumstances that we have.
Would getting to the gym be one of those reasons?
As far as
abandoning their resolution, could it be the fact that they just don't want to go to the gym?
it is it is a perceived barrier for folks, not having enough time, just finding some kind of excuse or creating a barrier to getting to the facility. Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the team of Cape Fear Valley Health's Healthplex on Making Rounds Live. Right now, we're talking to Mr. Mendez Foy. He is the fitness and aerobic lead instructor at the facility, or for the facility. And if you have any questions, what you can do is give us a call at 910-483-6111. Miss Glenda is here, and she is an amazing lady. She'll answer the phone, get the question for you, and get the question to us here in the studio. Another way that you can get your questions answered is if you're following us on the live stream by way of Cape Fear Valley's Facebook page. What you can do is leave the question in the comment section, and Lindsay will make sure that we get that question to the experts while they're here today. Finally, what I want you to do is share the broadcast. The reason why, we're always talking about something important during the broadcast, and if you're like me, you don't make a good middleman. So just tell everyone to share the broadcast, and then they can have all of the information there at their fingertips. And right now, we're talking to Mr. Mendez Foy this morning on Making Rounds Live. Mendez, since we were talking about getting to the gym earlier, since getting to the gym is one of the reasons that people break their resolutions, what are some basic exercises, and I guess this is really open to all of you if you want to take it, what are some basic exercises that people can do maybe from their home, from their office if they're at work, that don't really require a gym membership?
Morgan, you want to?
Sure.
Chime in?
Okay, so a combination of cardiovascular in addition to strength training are very, very important in order to maintain daily active levels, being able to move around, get through your active goals, being able to maintain your body, heart health, and muscle mass. And one of the biggest things that people have questions about when they're from home is how to complete cardio in a way that's successful and convenient. So for those who have stairs, any time of carefully and safely going downstairs a few times a day can definitely hit that cardio goal. In addition to, if you have a safe neighborhood or a park you're able to get to, walking is the most universal type of cardio that can be done from anywhere. In addition to jogging in place, if your joints if you're able to without any risks of falls, jogging in place, jumping jacks are all great things you can do to get the heart rate up and build up a sweat. If you're trying to do any kind of strength training, the best thing that you have at home is your body weight. You can't go wrong with using that as your best tool. If you have canned goods that are easy to grab your hands around, gallon jugs, if you're wanting to really challenge your weight distribution, are also great tools to add to that. As far as exercises are concerned, I tell people that large muscle groups are your best bet with working them because you're burning more calories the more muscle groups you use. You use a lot of them whenever you're getting up and down from your chair, whether you're trying to pick up cases of water, your groceries. We use our body weight more than we realize. So things to work the back. Let me reverse. Your core. That's the stability and foundation to everything we do. So whether that's seated marching, which you can do in place, or seated, standing even, activating the core, planks, you can do that to also work your core. If you're trying to work your upper body, and I'm happy to demonstrate these in just a moment, but just to briefly discuss, overhead press to basically work your shoulders are great. If you want to do some bent over rows to work your back, you can do some wall push-ups to work your chest and your shoulders and your triceps. For leg work, the most common thing people like to do at home are squats. And everyone's squat form isn't the best, so that's where you can easily modify that into sitting and standing. It engages your core, engages a lot of your leg muscles. Deadlifts are a common thing, even standing kicks, front, side, backward. It activates a plethora of muscles, and I'm happy to demonstrate any of those if you'd like to see.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to stand here. Well, actually, I'll first start with sitting. Some people have issues with their back, and sometimes standing may not be the best option with some of these things, and the first thing you want to do is do everything safely. So I tell a lot of the people I work with, people often suffer from bad posture, so to correct that, you always want to have your chest lifted and your shoulder muscles back and squeezed together to engage your shoulder blades. And if you were to attempt the overhead press, lifting your chest, I'll kind of face the front and side here, hands here by the shoulders, and what you want to do is actually hands overhead, and think about pulling your arms back by your ears when you come up, and then coming right back down to keep your elbows kind of close to your ribs there, and hands right by the shoulders. So easily with canned goods or bottles of water, overhead, coming down, that's the overhead press. And people might say, Morgan, how many sets and reps should I do? If you're new to exercise, 2 sets of anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions can satisfy that goal of building up some strength slowly and gradually. If you wanted to attempt some seated marching, what you could do is seated, chest lifted, shoulders back, squeeze your core, and easily, carefully, you don't want to rip right through it. You want to take your time, knee to chest, okay, seated marching. If you wanted to make this more of a progression and more difficult, you can easily stand, hands on hips to maintain your stability, okay, and actually just pulling the knees into the chest, nice and steady, keeping the muscles nice and engaged in the core, okay? If you wanted to attempt some back exercise, you can stand, I'll show you from the side, feet shoulder width apart, sit back in the hips, bend over at the knee and the hip, hands straight out in front of you, pretending you're holding a canned good. Keep your shoulder blades nice and lifted and squeezed together, and graze the elbows by your rib cage, and then arms extended to the floor. This is going to activate a lot of those back muscles. You want to squeeze when you get to the top and coming right down. Okay? If you were to attempt something like a squat, or a modified squat would be a sit to stand, pulling a very sturdy chair, okay, seated at the very edge, assuming that it's a safe time to do that. You want to also concentrate the weight into your heels and use more of that back chain when you're doing it. You kind of sit to stand and you kind of deadlift. Always keep the weight in your heels and never let your knees go over your toes. Okay, so seated, feet shoulder width apart, hands preferably in front of you to kind of maintain that level of stability. Lean forward slightly, weight into the heels, and stand up, and then find that seat. I'm grabbing it because it rolls, and I'm sitting right back down to the very edge there. Again, 2 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, ideally being able to work your way up to 4. Okay? Got a little bit of exercise? Okay, that was a lot, but you got it, you can do it, and start off small.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening by way of WIDU, you can see what Morgan has done on the Cape Fear Valley Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. And thank you so much for doing that for us. Now, Sophia, if someone is listening or watching and they have balance or mobility issues, are there certain modifications that they can make to maybe these exercises that Morgan just showed us to make the exercises safer or easier?
Yes, of course. So anything can be modified. So if you're at home, definitely having that loved one close by just to keep an eye on you and support you through that. Making sure that there are no sharp objects, glass objects around you. Having that soft barrier like a couch, pillows around the floor, just, have them on standby. Even having a handrail to hold on to when you're doing some of these exercises so you have that stability there. And that same thing goes for when you're in the gym, making sure that you have fitness professionals close by and on standby. If you have any questions, definitely ask for certain modifications, any exercise concerns that you have. And then, of course, just knowing your limitations as well, knowing when to stop as well.
All right. Morgan, let's bring you back in. What is more important, working on improving, or I don't know, this might be your question, Mandez, but what is more important, working on improving strength or raising the heart rate?
That's a great question. So the heart and the lungs, they work together to supply oxygenated blood throughout your entire body. Today, and within this entire population, a lot of people suffer with things like high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, atherosclerosis. If you didn't know what that is, that's when you have a buildup of plaque deposits, which can cause, hardening of the arterial walls. A lot of those things can happen, and therefore the heart, it works 24/7. You have to keep it sharpened like a pencil and make sure you can use it every day that you have to take a breath, take a step, everything. And so making sure that you're taking steps to satisfy that cardiovascular maintenance is very, very important. It's going to keep you in good shape. It's going to make sure that you can sustain the functioning of your lungs and your heart. However, strength training is very, very much important as well. They're not in the same as far as the level of importance. They are both important. But with strength training, we strength train every time we get out of bed, as soon as we step, we're carrying our body weight. And so the best way to reinforce that functioning with activities in daily life and with exercise, we have to make sure we're doing some sort of strength training. Osteoporosis, osteopenia, arthritis, making sure we can maintain our bone density. It changes with time and age. With each year, a certain level of muscle mass and bone density starts to kind of give with each time. So making sure that we're lifting weights, doesn't have to be super heavy, but just making sure we're lifting something to maintain that durability of our muscles and our joints is also very important. And the added plus is you're burning calories and shaping your physique when you do it. So it's also a very, very much a great addition to the cardiovascular aspect as well.
Okay. Sophia, we hear the phrase consult a physician before working out. Should we talk to our doctor before attempting the simple exercises?
Oh, yes, I agree. It's very important to talk to your doctor before any sort of exercise, just so they can provide you that guidance based on your individual health needs. They can assess any underlying medical conditions that you have, and of course your physical limitations as well, that may even affect your ability to exercise safely. And they can also help determine the right exercises and the right intensity that is good for your individual needs. And then, of course, once you're cleared to work out, then definitely coming into that gym and then talking to that fitness professional afterwards to help you jumpstart your fitness journey as well.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, exercise physiologist Miss Sophia Huck on Making Rounds Live. She is one of the members of the HealthPlex team with us today. So is Eileen Barber. You all know who Miss Barber is. She's not new to the broadcast. And she is the Morgan just demonstrated. Those are for people who aren't able to maybe get to the gym, or maybe seniors with limited mobility. What about the folks that can get to HealthPlex? Why is HealthPlex a good place to work out?
The HealthPlex is a great place to work out for a lot of reasons. One, piggybacking off of what Sophia was talking about as far as the exercise physiologists who are there to help you and make sure that you're working out safely, and you're also doing things that match up with your goals. That's going to get you what you came in for. So that's a good start, for as far as why you want to come to a facility like ours. We've got great staff on the floors making sure you exercise safely. Secondly, we've got a lot, not just equipment, but we've got a pool. We've got courts where you can play basketball and pickleball, great ways to stay in shape that aren't necessarily, running on a track or treadmill if that's not your thing. We do have a great inside track. We've got several classrooms where we do everything from spinning to Zumba, Pilates, chair aerobics. We've got just a wide variety. So walking into us, you're going to find something that fits your personality and needs, and hopefully you're finding things that are fun, which goes back to what Mandez addressed earlier, sticking to your goals and getting in and just finding out how you can stay on track.
All right. Morgan, Sophia, how is an because somebody listening, exercise physiologist, just a fancy way of saying a personal trainer. What's the difference, and why is an exercise physiologist different from a personal trainer?
I guess I'll start off. So
Okay.
I think maybe because we go and have that extra background knowledge of, the anatomy, the physiology, the basic kinesiology, applied kinesiology, the biomechanics of the body, we can really tailored to your needs and what your muscles need as well.
Okay. Morgan, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Piggybacking off of that, being able to really explain the why as to why exercise is important, being able to know the science behind it, making sure people understand with certain things like their fuel, what the body's going to use first, your carbs, then your fats, then your protein, making sure we touch briefly on that part so people understand the importance of fueling the body before coming into exercise so they don't plummet, because it's possible. So safety first and making sure we implement that why as to why exercise is important.
And if I could add to that, one of the things that makes us, or exercise physiologists, different from personal trainer is that we as exercise physiologists work closely with other healthcare professionals, like physicians, physical therapists, registered dietitians, in order to develop a plan of care for the clients that we have coming in.
All right. Well, Mendez, since you basically introduced the next question, if someone is seeking a personal trainer, you guys do offer personal training at HealthPlex, correct?
Correct. Yes. So if somebody's seeking personal training at the HealthPlex, what we want to do is start them off with one of our health assessments. So they'll sit down with one of our exercise physiologists or personal trainers, because we have both. We'll sit down, talk to you about your goals, get some biometrics, height, weight, body fat, body measurements, and then try to come up with a comprehensive program in order for you to reach those goals. We offer a multitude of packages. Like a member who comes in, they can get a 3-pack introductory 1-hour session for $99. It's a pretty good deal. So if they're interested, just give me a call.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the team from Cape Fear Valley Health's HealthPlex on Making Rounds Live. HealthPlex offers things, a lot of, well, you mentioned this earlier, but I just want to make sure that our listeners heard it. HealthPlex offers a lot of things other local gyms don't. So the services that you mentioned earlier, the track and the group trainings, what other services do you offer at HealthPlex that the listeners and the viewers need to know about?
We've got a sauna and steam room to add to our fitness equipment. Lots of cardio equipment, strength training, spin bikes. We've got full court basketball gym that we also do pickleball and hold classes in. We've got a play center for those who have little ones and need to put them somewhere safe. We've got all staff trained, CPR, AED, so we've got a lot packed in there.
Okay. Mendez, mention those New Year's membership specials again.
Right now we have a $10 enrollment fee. I think it ends the 10th of February. Am I correct? Somewhere around there. So if you can get in now, $10 enrollment fee. And we have different types of memberships as well. Full-time membership for $58. And no contract. No contract. That's probably the most important part for folks. We're not gonna hold you to a contract. Yeah. So when you come in, $10 enrollment fee, $58 a month or $38 a month, no contract. Cancel anytime. Just give us a 10 days notice. We get you straight. Just come by, check the facility out.
All right. And if anyone, viewers, listeners, wanting to learn more, what do they need to do?
Give us a call at 910-615-7539, or you can check out our Facebook page at Cape Fear Valley HealthPlex. And then what else do we have? Just come.
We have a website.
Website, yeah. Website, helpplexonline.com, www.helpplexonline.com. And the best thing to do is just come by, check us out. The things that we say don't give it justice enough. Come by, check out the facility, the environment, and the people, and I think you'll enjoy it.
All right. Now, before we close out this segment of the broadcast and check in with the state and local news, is there anything that we go around the table? Is there anything that you want to stress before we close out the first segment? We can start with you, Mendez, and we can just go around.
So for people with their resolutions or starting to make a change, I guess I would give a couple of tips is, one, be consistent. Give yourself grace as well. Be your own cheerleader. And I want to say that would be the top three things.
Okay.
Be consistent, be your own cheerleader, and give yourself some grace.
All right. Eileen?
Ask for help, especially if you come to see us. There's help. You don't have to pay for everything to get fit. So ask for help, put your goals out there, and just have at it.
All right. Sophia?
Piggybacking off of what Mendez said, it's the same thing, start off small, don't give up. Change does not happen overnight. You will see progress sooner than you think, so just don't give up, honestly.
All right. And Ms. Morgan?
With all that they said, give yourself grace, as Mendez said, and just continue. Just don't stop. Realize that all you need is 30 minutes a few days a week, and make sure you're matching everything else: nutrition, water, sleep, mental health. All that is just as important as moving around. But just don't quit and be consistent.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the team from Cape Fear Valley Health's HealthPlex, Ms. Eileen Barber, the Health Services Coordinator for HealthPlex, Mr. Mendez Foy, Fitness and Aerobic Lead Instructor for the facility, and Exercise Physiologist, Ms. Sophia Huck and Ms. Morgan Jones. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay tuned when we return. We're going to keep this home theme going, and we'll talk about telehealth during the next segment of Cape Fear Valley Health's Making Rounds Live.
We'll be right back with more of Making Rounds Live.
Cape Fear Valley's Making Rounds Live.
Broadcasting and streaming live from the WIDU Community Room on 99.7 FM, 1600 AM.
The WIDU Radio Network.
This is Pastor Steve McMillan of the New Life Covenant Fellowship, 362 Neville Street in your God bless city of Fayetteville. You're listening to Wake Up.
A powerful low-pressure system and cold front are expected to swing through North Carolina on Tuesday, bringing a threat of multiple hazards in the afternoon and evening. Nick Petra, the National Weather Service in Raleigh, says it will be a day-long event with strong wind and potential flooding in the forecast in North Carolina. First responders and businesses are doing what they can to prepare for potential storms. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is in Israel working to prevent a wider war in its fight against Hamas. Blinken is meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and members of his war cabinet. An explosion at an historic hotel in Fort Worth, Texas, has injured 21 people. Fire officials believe the blast was a gas explosion. The U.S. economy remains strong when it comes to creating jobs. The Labor Department reports in the month of December, 216,000 net jobs were filled. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
WIDU News. I'm Lou Flores. A Hope Mills Police Department major has been fired amid a State Bureau of Investigation probe into a December 12th incident at the police department. In reply to the public records request, Town Clerk Ashley Wyatt said Major Bradley Roundtree's employment was terminated on January 4th. Given that the details of the incident are a personal matter and the grievance process is still ongoing, we're unable to release any further information at this time. The town initially announced on December 22nd that Roundtree had been placed on administrative leave and that the SBI had been called in as a result of the incident at the police department. Roundtree was hired March 1st as a police captain and promoted to major September 1st, earning a salary of $75,000. As Cumberland County schools consider options for replacing the aging E.E. Smith High School, a Fort Liberty golf course has emerged as a potential site for a new facility. According to the agenda for the Cumberland County School Board's Tuesday meeting, the board will discuss whether to approve presenting the Stryker Golf Course at 1219 Bragg Boulevard as the future site of the new E.E. Smith High School. According to the September 1st site evaluation report by Fayetteville-based Crawford Design Company, the golf course is one of three options for the new building. We do local news every weekday morning on WIDU.
I'm tracking a strong storm system that's on the move. It's going to bring the wind and it's going to bring the heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding, especially in some of our western counties under the flood watch. We also have a wind advisory in effect with the winds gusting around 45 to 50 miles per hour. We'll see early showers, and then come this afternoon, that's when those showers and thunderstorms are going to ramp up. We have a level 2 and 3 out of 5 severe risk in place. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Hello, this is Kevin Wester of Destiny Real Estate. Wake up, catch the vision, and join WIDU Wake Up.
I'm Matthew Rouse Jr., the founding pastor of the House of Emmanuel Church, better known as The Church, and you're listening to Wake Up.
God bless you. I'm Pastor Al McAllister, the pastor of Rafa Ministries Family Center, and we're excited. We are glad to be a part of Wake Up.
NCI News. I am Mike Rayleigh. A powerful low-pressure system and cold front are moving through North Carolina right now, bringing a threat of multiple hazards in the afternoon and evening. National Weather Service meteorologist Nick Petro says there'll be high wind, gusts, and rain.
We're expecting 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds Tuesday and Tuesday night, with gusts to 40 to 45 possible. The strongest gusts are expected in the southern Piedmont, Sandhills, and southern coastal plain area.
Governor Roy Cooper today signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency ahead of severe weather expected across the state.
State of emergency will help the utility companies restore power more quickly, and that it provides waivers for utility trucks and heavy equipment to be positioned because they expect high winds today.
A veteran North Carolina trial lawyer has entered the Republican primary campaign for governor, pledging to spend millions in personal funds toward a race that already full of fellow Republicans who got in months ago. Bill Graham today told NCN affiliate WTIB's Henry Hinton.
I'm running to bring a conservative future to North Carolina, and I'm afraid if the leading candidate right now in the polls is our nominee, we're going to lose that future.
The NTSB is looking into how the door of an Alaska Airlines plane flew mid-flight and is working with Boeing to figure out if any other planes in the 737 MAX fleet could have the same problems. CBS's transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
United said in a statement it has found bolts in need of tightening on at least a handful of its 79 MAX 9 airplanes, all of which remain grounded this morning.
After an 8-hour city council meeting last night, the council voted unanimously to approve rezoning and special use permits to build North Carolina's first Buc-ee's in Alamance County. You're listening to NCI News.
I'm Matthew Rouse Jr., the founding pastor of the House of Emmanuel Church, better known as The Church, and you're listening to Wake Up.
God bless you. I'm Pastor Al McAllister, the pastor of Rafa Ministries Family Center, and we're excited. We are glad to be a part of Wake Up.
Hey, trailblazing business owners, tired of blending into the background? It's time to turn up the volume and make your mark with a podcast that screams, "We're here, and we mean business." Podcast Plus gives your brand the opportunity to join the podcast revolution. It's time to show that you and your company are the experts by creating engaging content that captivates and entertains. Head to mynewpodcast.com and connect with experts to create a podcast that will allow you to connect with your audience on a personal level, so you can break through all the noise. Plus, we offer professional script writing, pre- and post-production, graphic design experts for a captivating page, and distribution on all major platforms. All this produced from our state-of-the-art studios. Sign up today at mynewpodcast.com, or for more information and to get a free consultation with a podcast expert, call 888-324-0035. That's 888-324-0035. Enhance your brand with your own podcast today and reach new clients 24/7. Call 888-324-0035. That's 888-324-0035. Or sign up now at mynewpodcast.com.
We now return to Making Rounds Live.
Cape Fear Valley's Making Rounds Live.
Broadcasting and streaming live on the WIDU network, 99.7 FM, 1600 AM. Here's Omega Jones.
Thank you so much, Ray. Welcome back to the second segment of Cape Fear Valley Health's Making Rounds Live. Before we introduce our next beautiful guest, I do need to let you know that Cape Fear Valley Health has another walk-in Wednesday scheduled. This one is going to be on the 17th. And in case you don't know what Walk-In Wednesdays are. Every first and third Wednesday of the month, starting from 9 a.m. until noon, job seekers, you can walk into the HR department at Cape Fear Valley Health's main campus, Betsy Johnson Hospital, Bladen County Hospital, and Central Harnett Hospital. And the Cape Fear Valley staff, they will help you find and apply for jobs that are opening. Now, they have positions open in various departments at all level skills, and all you have to do is bring your resume, and please make sure you dress business professionally. I know that's not a word. I know it's not grammatically correct, but you understand what I'm saying. So if you want more information, what you can do is go to Cape Fear Valley Health's website at capefearvalley.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some of you may have experienced telehealth, especially during the pandemic, but I didn't know. I thought telehealth was developed during the pandemic. That's not the case. They've just gotten more popular because people wanted a way to see the doctor without being around sick people in public. And telehealth can be done from the comfort of your home. It can be done from your car. It can be done practically anywhere. So let's discuss telehealth with Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt, and she is from Cape Fear Valley Primary Care, Fayetteville Family. Dr. Anna Hyatt. I knew I was going to do it. I've had the name right all day, and I knew I was going to do it right when I introduced you. But anyway, welcome to Cape Fear Valley's Making Rounds Live. Now, Dr. Cecilia, for those who may not know, what exactly is telehealth?
Telehealth is a comprehensive medical visit where you are from the comfort of your home or your car, like you said, and you have a full visit with your primary care provider or your specialist from the comfort and without the hassles of driving, and you can have a full visit and get your prescriptions done, lab test, without any difficulties. So
you said lab test. So
Correct.
you can get lab test and exam scheduled through telehealth as well?
Absolutely, yes. The same day I can order, let's assume it's a diabetic follow-up. We review the test, the blood, your blood sugars that you have been checking, the medications that you're checking. We review the labs, previous labs, and address any new problems and order the labs, and they can go to my office or to the diagnostic center and get the blood work that I order at that moment. And they can go the next day if they need to go fasting, or if I don't need them to go fasting that day.
Wow.
Let's say it's a respiratory problem and I need to know if they have RSV, flu, or COVID. They go from their house, drive to the office, get swabbed in the parking lot, and I'll have the result within 30 minutes, even an x-ray.
Wow.
Correct.
Now, how often do you find patients asking for telehealth visits over in-person visits now?
Well, it's been climbing. In the beginning, people were hesitant, especially the older people. I have been in practice for over 30 years, and my patients have been with me for 30 days, and I'm like part of the family. So coming to see me is an event. It's a family visit. So it's difficult for them to take that away from their lives. So I am very careful choosing the patients that I would say I can do telemed. The new generation, the younger people, the working people, is ideal because they don't have to take time off from work. All I need is 15 minutes in their busy schedule. We can set up an appointment, and they go to the lunch area, and we have the visit. And they don't have to take time off. They don't have to call in.
I wish this was available when I was working. because I miss so many doctor's appointments.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt. See, I told you I knew how to say it. From Cape Fear Valley Health Primary Care, Fayetteville family. We're discussing telehealth on Making Rounds Live. If you have any questions, what you can do is give us a call at 910-483-6111. Ms. Glendo, she'll answer the phone, get the question to us. And if you're following us by way of the live stream on Cape Fear Valley's Facebook page, what you can do is leave the question in the comments section, and Lindsay will get that question to us. And also, I've just learned today that Cape Fear Valley also has a YouTube channel that we're streaming on, so make sure you spread the word. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt on Making Rounds Live. Dr. Anna Hyatt, tests and examinations, you pretty much mentioned this earlier, but I really want our listeners and viewers to hear this. This can be done through telehealth, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does the process work? Do we have to download an app? Do we have to go in and jump through a lot of hoops? How easy is this process?
Cape Fear Valley has tried to make it easier, so we developed, well, not we, Cape Fear Valley developed a platform. After COVID, there was new regulations for telemedicine. So they developed an easy platform where patients have easy access. Most of the patients have access to my chart. My chart.
Yeah.
Where you can access your medical records. If you have access to my chart, all we do is we send you a link. Either my office, or when I'm ready to take your visit, I send you a link and we connect. That's easy. All you have to do is your passcode, your password, and you get the link and you click on that, and here we come live.
Is telehealth available at all the counties the health system serves?
Anywhere where they have internet access.
Anywhere where they have internet?
Anywhere where you have internet. I have patients that have been visiting Ohio, California, Florida, that are because somebody died or they had to, and we do the telehealth from wherever they are.
Okay. Approximately how many doctors or clinics are offering these telehealth appointments at Cape Fear Valley Health? Do you know?
All the clinics have the capability. I am doing in family medical, I'm the primary telehealth doctor. But the other clinics have access. It is not as popular as the office visit. I guess we're used to always patients and doctors.
Yeah.
But it becomes a time where we have to move forward and move with times, and we can provide better access to the patients. I forgot to mention that a lot of your preventive care gaps can be done through telehealth. When was your last colonoscopy? When was your last mammogram? When was your last bone density? When was your glaucoma screening? I don't need an examination for that. It's just we can knock it off. And I can even order vaccines through the system that you can put the vaccine order and you just stop by and get it done at the office without having the hassle to go through the waiting room with all the people coughing on you.
Exactly. You mentioned the family medicine doctors, the family practice doctors are offering these telehealth appointments. Are specialists also doing the virtual visits?
Actually, they're doing the most.
The specialists?
In the hospital, yes. A lot of, we have a shortage of specialists, so a lot of them are using telehealth in the hospital. And all of them have the capability. I don't know exactly what their numbers are.
Yeah.
But it is growing. It has steadily increased. It has been steadily increasing.
What about insurance? Is it required?
Yes.
It is
It's
required.
a normal visit. So you have to have your copay, and and your insurance card, which the office staff checks with that, checks on that before the appointment.
Okay.
Um,
All right. What are some of the most common issues that you see yourself diagnosing with telehealth visits?
I can diagnose most anything. Now, I have an experience of 34 years being a doctor, and my patients have been with me for that long. So I can tell you just from the phone, from the video chat, if they're not feeling good or not. Unless I have to do a specific examination of the abdomen, or you have a specific joint pain, or I have to drain an abscess or remove a toenail or a pap smear, something that it has to be hands-on. But most of the stuff, I can do it, and then we can meet later on for your next 6-month follow-up appointment, and I'll make a note to do whatever is left to do that I have to check.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cape Fear Valley Primary Care, Fayetteville family, Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt. If you're just joining us, you can catch this broadcast in its entirety on Cape Fear Valley's Facebook page and their YouTube channel. Just click on videos and you'll find the broadcast, and you'll also find other programs that we have done on Making Rounds Live. There's a wealth of information there in those broadcasts, and that's why we really want you to share that information and get that information out, help us get that information out to the masses. And we're talking telehealth right now with Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt on Cape Fear Valley's Making Rounds Live. First of all, Dr. Cecilia, you keep saying you've been in practice for over 30 years. What, you got in
34.
medicine, you got in medicine when you were 10? I mean, because you don't look like it. I'm just being honest.
I have been in medicine for 34 years.
Wow.
35, almost 35. I graduated when I was very young, yes.
Okay, all right, because I was just getting ready to put an old saying out there, but anyway, we'll leave that alone. Let's talk about the positives. What do patients say that they like about the telehealth visits?
I think one of the most important one, and I'm embarrassed about it because, and I think all the doctors seen about this, is not being on time. Because somebody puts you behind. You had to spend more time with that patient. And with telehealth, you don't have that option. You have to be on time because the connection, the window opens. So you have to connect and you have to get through the visit. The other positive one, especially in these times where everybody's sick, you don't want to be in a waiting room full of sick people and waiting and
That's
waiting
true.
and waiting, and then go to the blood work room and there's more people that are sick. A lot of people don't have the common sense of wearing a mask if they're sick. Another advantage is a lot of patients don't have the mobility, or getting out of the house is a task, or the family member has to get them dressed, put them in the wheelchair, put them in the car, driving them, get them out of the car. All that is avoided with a telehealth. You save on gas. You don't wait for the doctor. And we get to meet our pets.
It sounds like it's a win-win all the way around. Now, we did have a social media question that I saw during the break. Can a new patient visit be done during a telehealth appointment?
I have done new patient appointments, and it was a rash, actually, which is one of the difficult ones. That's one of the difficulties that I have, but patients are learning. If they have a rash on the shoulder, so putting the camera to show the shoulder or in the belly, it is possible, but we need to plan a follow-up appointment so I can do a full examination touching the patient.
All right, so you have to see them at some point in time.
I have to.
Yeah.
Unless it's a psychiatric patient.
Okay.
Then we can do just telehealth.
Okay.
But they still want you to come in and check your vital signs. That's another part that is very important for telehealth visits is I ask them to have a scale and to have a blood pressure cuff And everybody has a thermometer, and since COVID, the pulse oximeter. And they check their vital signs. I do a lot of teaching in my office about how to do it correctly. So the day of the appointment, they check their vital signs, they tell me, and I trust them.
Okay. Do you find most of your patients are repeat users once they initially try it? I'm not even finishing the question.
You do telehealth, absolutely. There's some that like to come and see me, and they like to, as Spanish people, we like to hug and kiss. And
Yeah.
And they like that. So, but I tell them I'll see you in 6 months, and they're happy with that. Once they lose the fear and they're comfortable doing it, they love it.
Okay. Dr. Anna Hyatt, let's talk about changes. Have aspects of telehealth changed since being used during the pandemic?
Well, the pandemic shows us telehealth slapping on our face, like trying to get access, medical care to a lot of sick people. And the law was very loose in those days because we were trying to get. After that, Medicare and the federal government put a lot of new rules that Medicare, Medicaid, and the government insurance had to fulfill. The hospitals and the healthcare systems had to fulfill to be reimbursed for those visits. So we had to create new platforms. Cape Fear Valley developed with Amwell the new platform, which is essentially follows up the new regulations that the government has.
Yeah. Well, lastly, Dr. Anna Hyatt, is there anything else about telehealth, about virtual medicine that you want to make sure our listeners and our viewers know about?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's easy access. You can have the same day appointment. And once you do it, you will see all the benefits that come with it. You will not be cut short.
All right.
I promise you that.
It sounds like it's the perfect way to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt from Cape Fear Valley Primary Care, Fayetteville Family. Now, before we close out today's broadcast, I want you to jot this down. The Life After Stroke team, they meet every third Wednesday of the month in the Cape Fear Valley Rehabilitation Center Physical Therapy Gym. Starts at 3 p.m. And for more information, what you can do is call Megan Dornan. She's been on the program before, and you can find her at Cape Fear Valley Health. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking today's guest. First, Dr. Cecilia Anna Hyatt from Cape Fear Valley Primary Care, Fayetteville Family. The team from HealthPlex, Miss Eileen Barber, the Health Services Coordinator of HealthPlex, Mr. Mendez Foy, the Fitness and Aerobics Lead Instructor of the facility, and we also heard from the exercise physiologist, Miss Sophia Huck and Miss Morgan Jones. Now, mark this down. Our next broadcast is Tuesday, January 23rd, and it is a special one. We will have the CEO of Cape Fear Valley Health in our studio, Mr. Mike Nagowski. He's going to give us an update on everything going on at the health system, and we'll call that our State of the Health System episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, for our producers, Shaka Jordan, Lindsey Graham, and Ray Thomas, for the hardworking team behind the scenes, I'm Omega Jones, continuing the legacy of Darvin Jones. Thank you so much for listening and watching Cape Fear Valley Health's Making Rounds Live.